Hello?
Honey Bear.
Hey.
Man, your phone rang about 13 times, man.
You're right.
It did, man. I thought the voicemail was about to pick up, man. So
No.
you victim number 9, man. We recording live, man. You on the Spartan Dawg Podcast, man. What's going on?
Oh, nothing much, man. Same old thing. Working and doing the kids thing.
Oh yeah, you drank some water today?
I've been drinking green tea.
I ain't asked you if you drank some green tea, man. I just asked you if you drank some water.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. All right. So look, I'm on the phone with Grand Rapids finest, man. Corey Baker. What's going on, Bake?
Oh man, nothing much. Appreciate the call. I've been enjoying the past podcast very, very truly. And man, it's been real good to learn more about the homies.
Yeah, I was about to take a break, man, until you called me this weekend. I didn't think everybody listened to him. You asked me when I'm going to do some more. I'm already scheduling my retirement, so I'm trying to get some other people involved. But I got about a good 8 to 10 more that I'm going to knock out, and then hopefully some other people will hear it and get involved and call some of the people that they're a little bit closer to. So look, Bake, and you kind of got the format, man. Really, where you at these days, man?
Shoot, like you said, man, I'm after school. I moved back to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'm here now. I've been here since graduation, '95. Got 3 kids and working as a financial advisor with a company called Valley right now. So yeah, it's been good, man. Life has been good, and I enjoy my job and having fun raising the kids.
All right, so let's unpack that. So now, I mean, we can't count the anniversaries, but no big deal. You and your college sweetheart, y'all separated a few years ago, but you still very much involved in your kids' lives, right? So you got.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we ended up getting divorced probably about 4.5 years ago, but still got a great relationship. The kids are happy. They're doing real good in school. My oldest daughter, she was just on the honors roll in her first year in 6th grade. So I think that's when the grades really start here. But yeah, that's been good, man. The kids have taken it well. They're excelling in sports, and I think it worked out to be a better fit and better relationship.
Okay, cool. Now you said as far as work, you're in the financial services. So what does that mean? What do you do?
I'm a financial advisor, so I help people with IRAs, 401ks, 403bs. Like Mill, I work with educators and healthcare professionals, and the general public, and helping them get retirement safety and make sure that they got a financial plan in place so that you know what the numbers are. That's one thing you don't want to guess about is what your finances are going to be like in the future. So planning ahead is a great idea, and I find a great joy in doing that, relieving some of that stress.
So do you do life insurance too, or just investments?
Yep, life insurance as well. That's part of the estate planning part of it that we try to help people with. So yeah, we do the full circle. I don't do the property and casual. I think Mill does that at his agency. But yeah, Mill was a contributor into my career in the financial industries. About 5 years ago, Mill's at a different firm, and that's how I ended up getting into the industry. So there's some Spartan Dawg love there as far as me making a career change from working at the bank there.
So that's what I was going to talk about. So out of school, what were you doing when you graduated? Were you was working with your dad at the furniture place, or what did you start doing originally?
Yeah, once I graduated from school, it was a process of trying to figure out what I wanted to do with myself, and it was interesting. One of the interviews I took I think it was Kraft Foods, the manager, the hiring manager asked me, what's it like being in the real world now that you're not involved with, sports and athletics, and it kind of set me back a little bit. And I had to try to really figure out what the next step would be. But long story short, I ended up getting into the mortgage industry. I linked up with the Michigan State alumni here locally, and met a young man and young family that started a mortgage company. So I went and joined that, and worked there for about 4 years, I think, almost no 8 years. Then eventually started my own mortgage company.
It was
So
a brokerage company, right?
Yep. We started a mortgage broker company, me and my family, and back in 2004, I think it was. I think we got the license 3 days after my first daughter was born. Uh, it was a good journey. It was a good journey. So, right out of school, I started off in the mortgage industry. Worked for a company for about 8 years, and then started my own. And as a family, started growing the business. I think in '08 is when we had the housing market crash. So long story short, we ended up closing like a lot of the other banks and mortgage companies, and ventured off into business banking after that.
So when y'all, it's just me asking. So when y'all closed like that as the mortgage company, did you owe anybody? Did it affect you financially, or you just kind of get the kind of bail out, close shop, and try something else, or did it kind of make you
Yeah,
take a
no,
couple
no.
steps back?
Oh man, I had to take more than a couple steps back. I think you know that well, because that was a tough point to have your life savings poured into a business that you truly believed in. And then I think right before the housing market happened, my dad had passed away, who was my main partner in the business. So it was tough, man. I think a lot of the guys you've already interviewed were around during that time as well. And man, like I said, you guys stood up, and was there for me in a tough time. With losing the business and having to uh, change everything around, and losing homes and that kind of thing. It was one of those trying times. And I think you, Mill, Juan, I think everybody, Sean, I talked pretty much to everybody that's been on the podcast. Talked to Meyer and Bouville. I think that I talked to Buck, the honorary Spartan Dawg.
Right.
But yeah, man, it was one of those things where I had to shift gears, and after that, I landed on my feet and went and did some business banking at Fifth Third Bank. Got my feet wet in that, and eventually linked up with Mill and started in the financial industry.
Yeah.
So
So on then, I mean, I came to your dad's funeral, and I knew Phil. used to
mhm.
used to be at your house when y'all was eating all that red meat, them steaks,
Yeah,
begging
right,
for
right.
chicken. But on there, it was interesting. I mean, for us, I mean, and I had Jay and Mill talk about them, but you live with B Howard, right? And so for us,
Mhm.
we still kept a relationship. We used to go down to Chicago, or at least I did. I think you came a couple times when he was there and Mill was on the practice squad. Me and Stan went up there, and so we kept that relationship with them. And I
Mhm.
just remember at the funeral, I took it really hard because I felt like it was like, I don't know why. I felt like I lost one of our guys. Like I didn't check in on him, even though I stayed in contact with him and stuff like that. Wasn't nothing I could have done. But I remember that feeling like, as a group, I don't know. I just always felt like I ain't gonna say we didn't do enough, but I didn't feel like, I feel like we let a little bit of air out the inner tube. And after that, I was like, we ain't losing no more people. And,
Mhm.
so, it was a gang of people at the funeral, which is what we do. We show up for people. But when when you had your incident, I mean, it literally, I think I flew out that day, and, it just was important to surround you. Like, you know what I mean? It's like
Right.
I went through the same thing when my wife passed. I feel like I tell people now, y'all saved my life. Y'all wasn't gonna let me go. Between Two Dub and you and Ricardo and Mill and everybody was like it seemed like y'all had a schedule worked out when everybody was calling me and coming by and all this stuff or whatever. So it was just
Mhm.
interesting to kind of, to have an opportunity to be there for you, and then you guys show up, when I needed help, and other people, whatever.
Right.
So I mean, can you talk about? I mean, if you want to,
Yeah,
what that
yeah,
meant to
yeah.
you, or
Yeah. No, like I said, man, I think I felt the same way, and I think we had chit chatted about it a little bit. With B. Howard passing away, unfortunately, he was my roommate. He was also the best man at my wedding. So it was a tough thing, man, for someone to be so young, to pass away. And I think it was the first person that was real close to me, that actually passed away, that I had stayed in contact with, and I guess I didn't know things was bad for B. Howard, or things was going in the wrong direction. But I had plenty of opportunities for him to come work at the mortgage company, or there's different things he could have been doing, and I guess I didn't dig enough, ask enough questions, or everybody gives that everything's good talk, but I guess I didn't touch bases tight enough to know what was really going on. So no, from there, I think that's why that on the podcast we talk about the Spartan dog and what it means. I think it's a lifestyle, and I think that having some brothers around, and people that care about you, and friendships, um, make a big difference on your life, and how you deal with things that come at you and come your way. So there's all building blocks, and seeing that everybody showed at B. Howard's funeral, and then you guys stood up when I was in need. Like you said, you flew out that day. I said, hey man, it ain't seeming right, and shit. You was on the airplane. I seen you within, I think, 2 or 3 hours from when we was on the
yeah, I didn't
phone.
even go home. I just left the studio and just went and got on the plane. I mean, like I be telling people, it's that important. Where I always tell people, if somebody cross your mind or you thinking about them, then that's almost God's sign saying to reach out to them. So it's like, the other day we had an incident when I called your butt about 3 times, right? And I ain't get you on
Right.
the phone. Nigga, I called Jay. I said, "Where's Corey at?" He's like, "I ain't talked to him in like a week." I said, "Get him on the phone." That nigga ain't answering the phone. So it's like, I think we all kind of got a little bit scarred up, but we always make sure everybody's cool, which is, I'm proud of our group. You know what I mean? I'm
Hmm.
I'm proud of our group. I can't really reach back to the people that was before us, kind of past Myron them and some of the young people past Sean them, but our group, I just think we doing a good job, man.
Yeah, I would agree, man. Like I said, it's a great thing to hear the stories, and learn more about your homies. And it was touching to hear Eddie Brown. I didn't know he was going to be on, but shoot, Eddie Brown used to give me rides to the house. He was in Muskegon, and I lived in Grand Rapids, which was about a half hour away. But yeah, he was one of my first rides back from home when I was a freshman, and it was good to hear that he's been coaching, and having some true fun with his job. I can see he still got that fire, and just from listening to his podcast, I was ready to suit up.
Right. Right. Now so you okay, so now you in Grand Rapids, and that's cool. You working. That's good. Um let's talk about you in high school, man. East Kentwood, right?
Yep, yep,
East
yep. I
Kentwood, man.
used
What you, what
to.
you what you was playing, man? What you come out of high school? You was what, about 6'2", what, 225, man?
Yeah. I was 6'1", about 235, about 235, 40. I played running back. That's an interesting thing, because me playing running back going to Michigan State, that was all never in the plan when I got into high school. And actually, I think it was by the grace of God that my sophomore year, our varsity coach decided to retire. But I was a big running back. So, I ran the ball as a freshman and sophomore, and had some pretty good years. And our senior coach, the varsity coach, said, Baker, you're too big. I'm going to put you on the line. You can forget about running back. Long story short, he retired. A new coach came in that was assistant at Michigan, University of Michigan, and then coached at Ypsilanti. Um, but yeah, he let me play running back, and I had some good years. I did about 900 yards a year as a junior and senior, and I think I was ranked 17th in the state of Michigan coming out as a high school recruit. I think Mia was ranked 5 that year. But yeah, so it was a good time, man. And then I had offers from the University of Michigan. Took a visit at Michigan State and one at University of Illinois. So those were my three top options. And I think, like everybody else said, it just felt at home being at Michigan State. It was just a different atmosphere, and I really enjoyed my visit. So it was a good time.
Now you when you came in, was you playing fullback? Or I don't even have fullbacks no more. Was you the tailback at Michigan State? What did they switched you or what?
Yep. No, they switched me. I think.
And did they tell you that when they was recruiting you, man, that they wanted you to be the fullback?
Yeah, no, everything changed, man. From high school to when I got to college, I was actually the position coach was Charlie Baggett.
I thought Coach Williams was your position coach.
Yeah, but as a high school, Charlie Baggett was the running back coach.
Oh, okay.
So it was Coach Williams' first year was my first year, so it was all new. And by the time I got to school, I went from I'm only gonna play running back to back you playing fullback.
Yeah.
So it was a switch, man. I think trying to learn that to block instead of run was a transition. And then I think my first day in pads, Rob Roy hit me in my chin and knocked me out. It was a practice dummy, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, in high school we had a practice dummy. You supposed to go light. No, I guess not in Michigan State with Rob Roy. Rob Roy is what, 5'10", 280. Oh man, I was out like a light on the floor. Coach Williams yelling at me, "Baker, goddamn, what you doing?" Man, I'm like, "Oh, Coach, I just woke up. That's what I'm doing." Yeah, I just woke up, Coach.
Yeah. So what, he caught you under the chin, man?
Yeah, he caught me under the chin, man. First day of pads. First day of pads. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, so that scarred you up, man. You knew he was in the Big Ten then, huh?
Yeah. It was welcome to the Big Ten for sure. It was a good welcome too. So as far as football, I think I played fullback for another 2 more years. I think I was third string there. Switched over to linebacker my junior year, I think, or third year. And then started seeing some time. I got a letter for playing on special teams, kickoff return, those kind of things. And, I played second string linebacker for a while. And then my last year, the running back spot came open, and shoot, I tried to make a run for that and had a good spring game in '94, playing some running back, which was my true love when I first got there. And then it happened again. My senior year, it happened again.
You got knocked out?
No. This time it was my shoulder.
Oh.
So I go in my last year, first week of pads, I get into a scuffle with Terry Harvey and dislocated my shoulder.
Oh yeah.
So that was it, man. I tried to rehab and get back in there, and separated the other shoulder, and shoot, I came to the conclusion that it's not meant to be. And I think one of the stories that I share with some of the young student athletes around here is that, and this is another part of being having relationships, is we used to come to Atlanta for the Freaknik, and you was living there at the time.
Right.
But that was shortly after my career, and I remember we was at Bob's house and sitting on the deck, and it was on the lake, nice, beautiful mansion, the big house. And, I was looking around the lake there, man, and I was like, man, everybody can't be playing, pro football. So, the light after football came on, due to that visit and seeing some bigger and better things that's are possible. So it's all been good, man. Like I said, I have nothing but great stories and some good times to remember that last a lifetime.
All right, so I got 3 more things to you. We're gonna wrap it up now, and I know the answer to this. So one, have you ever been cussed out by GP?
When you was asking that question, I was like, man, I hope that one don't come my way. Yeah, man, I was in the doghouse quite. I mean, I don't know how. I was a nice guy and everything, but somehow I ended up in the doghouse a few times, man. I think a story that most people remember. I don't know. Was you gonna tell it or you want me to say?
No, you got on to tell it. I was about to get to a story, but I'm gonna let you tell it.
Yeah, the story goes is, we had just went to Tokyo for the Coca-Cola Bowl, and man, the plane ride was like 18 hours. Anyway, long story short, we get off the plane. We got about an hour and a half, 2 hours before we check in for dinner. I fall asleep on the bed. B. Howard and Ricardo in the bathroom cutting, Ricardo's hair. Anyway, we get a call from the coach like, where y'all at? We running late. Long story short, we getting off the elevator with GP. And yeah, that's when the cussing started. And the famous quote was, this is my sophomore year, mind you, is GP telling me, hey, Beck, you might as well go ahead and go pro. And I hadn't seen the field, man. That was the problem. I hadn't even seen the field. And I was in the doghouse, from being late. You know how GP was. If you 5 minutes early, you late.
GP is if he get there early and you don't beat him, you late. Shit, that was the problem.
Yeah. So,
nigga said, Baker, you might as well go pro, huh?
Yeah. As a sophomore.
All right, now that wasn't my story that I was gonna bring up. But that's a good story. So your story is off the field, man. I mean, we glad that we have you here because according to you, you got shot before, huh?
Oh, here we go.
You don't remember that, man?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you tell the story, man. I mean,
Hey,
what happened?
Hey, you was there.
I ain't think you got shot, but tell me what happened, man.
Man, we was out partying a little bit, and man, some little dude didn't like what was going on. Anyway, long story short, he starts shooting into this car next to where we standing. So right after the shots rang out, I feel a pain in my ankle.
We running.
Right.
And go ahead. You feel the pain.
I feel the pain. So we running through the field. I think running to Tico's apartment or something. Anyway, I'm yelling out to Juan and everybody like, hey, I'm hit.
I'm hit.
I'm hit in case I fall out, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't leave no man behind. Anyway, long story short, we get back to the apartment, and I'm thinking, it's blood and everything, but it ended up just being a dent in my boot.
Nigga,
man.
You had a rock in your shoe.
It was a ricochet, man. It was a ricochet.
Man, please, boy.
I should have took a picture, man. It was a ricochet. I think it wasn't a direct hit, but it was definitely a ricochet.
Okay. And then you was famous for what? Your Bruce Lee
my job.
Hey, you was the first one that have you would be in style now, man, because you had a gray sweatsuit with a big bumblebee stripe with some leggings on the bottom, man. And you know what I mean? I come from California. I had what brand was that, man? Was that Puma or something?
That was Adidas, man. Adidas
I never seen Adidas with one stripe, man. You know what I mean? I don't know if that might not have really been Adidas, man.
There you go.
All right,
That's
so
good.
look, so Bake, where I mean, you already touched on what it means, for Spartan Dawg, so that's cool. But for you, where can people catch up with you or follow you on if you're on social media or anything?
Shoot, man. I've got I'm on Facebook at Corey Baker in Grand Rapids. Corey. I got an email, which is cbaker3248 at gmail.com. But that's really about it. I'm not and that was good to hear and refreshing that I ain't the only one that's real big on social media, but those are the two options that I've got, as far as the contact.
All right, and then last thing I'm gonna end with this, Corey. So you've been coming to the dinners that I think the other one it sounded like I was renting out a hotel room, but I usually rent out a banquet room at the Kellogg Center, and we have a dinner on homecoming after the game. Can you kind of tell people about them dinners, man? If they cool, if they worth coming, and you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, it's the dinners are excellent, man. They're very enlightening. Again, you get to learn and catch up on some things. I think I ain't gonna spoil it. There was some highlights that Courtney Hawkins had accomplished. That was very impressive, man. And it's just here's good, good stories about how everybody's trying to reach out and make impacts on their communities, and also being able to get together and share some laughs and tell some of them old stories, try to get the pictures clear, a little bit clearer. But it's always a good time, man. I plan on being there again this year, and shit, I invite anybody else that's got the time and can come down, come hang out with us.
Yeah, bring the wife and kids. It's a good time.
It is.
All right, so C-Bake, that's a wrap, homie. I appreciate your time.
All right, man. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right, back.
Okay.